Rohan, is that the most impressive and perhaps the most complete performance since you arrived?
Oh, I'd have to be amongst them. We've had a few quality performances and patches in other games as well, but yeah, very consistent throughout the game. I thought we defended very smart together, and they, their opportunities were limited to their most dangerous players, which we did a great job with our defence tonight.
You spoke in the week about imposing yourselves on them in the early stages. Just how big was that start to get 12 up and then obviously to be resolute at the other end as well?
Oh, it was a good hard arm wrestle. I thought at the beginning of the game, the first try we had a contest and it bounced our way, and we managed to get 6 up. But it was a good hard game of footy, I thought, for the majority there, and they were chasing points, and we held our line together pretty well, I thought.
You put yourself in a very strong position at half time to then kick on, score that first try after half time. Just how big was that to sort of keep control on proceedings?
I think it's important to try, score the first try and not be scored on before half time, and then to score the first try, however long it takes in the second half, is definitely a theme of what we're attempting to work on, and then to be the last try scorer. If you can do a couple of those things, you're in a good position.
Probably difficult on a night like tonight, but who stood out?
It's not my forte, singling out people, and just so much to process from the game. It was a very good team performance. I thought, Harry will get probably a lot of recognition, but I think what our middle unit did in that first half, they kept turning up. Some sets we got marched down the field, but we kept them in front of us. They didn't get in behind us, and we defended their kick, and we got the ball back. So we only made 1 sub at half time, so it allowed us to, or by half time, so it allowed us to make strategic interchanges to keep the energy strong through our middle. So that opening shift was outstanding, I thought, from our forward pack.
I know you're very much about 1 week at a time, but it's 3 wins from 4 now. In terms of the last month, you've put yourself in a really strong, really encouraging position going into this final few weeks, haven't you?
I'm not aware of how the table looks. That's for you guys. I'm trying to enjoy that one just for a few minutes before my family get here tomorrow, so that'll at least give me a chance to be in a decent mood over the weekend, and then we'll be on to Catalans on Monday.
Well, you're only a point off the playoffs with 6 or 7 games left. I mean, from the position you inherited when you got here, it's certainly looking like things are moving in the right direction, doesn't it?
That was a really good performance across the board, I thought, tonight, and the opportunity now is for us to replicate the process that we went through there that ended up scoring us some points. Some days you have to, it doesn't fall your way as much as that did, but it was a positive, really team performance, I thought, and the way that the crowd and the energy coming out of the grandstand was strong from the start of the game, and it only helped to get the boys through.
Half-backs, obviously Richie's gone back in there, but Cameron as well, to say that they don't play there week in, week out. How impressed were you with those two?
Yeah, I'm a big believer on team, playing as a team and not depending on your halves to be able to play a decent style of footy. They're there to complement your team process, because the days where they're not there, you still want to be able to play like in a fashion that we did tonight. So they both did a good job. They jumped at the opportunity to step in there and do that this week, and it's yet another spine combination that we've had.
Was the decision to play Cam Smith in the halves tactical, or was there an injury for Corey Johnson?
Corey was going to play. He was scheduled to play some time off the bench at dummy half, because that's his number one position, is hooker. But he was actually ill yesterday, and he was still a bit rough this morning. He wanted to play, but being such a young man and inexperienced, and coming off the back of 38 degrees in Toulouse last week, that I felt it was best to go with Muzzy off the bench, and he added great energy. It was great to see Muzzy come back after a long time away and come back playing well.
About Jared O'Connor, right? You've played him a bit at 9, and he's not always fallen for it, but tonight he just showed how much work he's put into learning his craft there. How pleased were you with him?
Yeah, half the game for Jared is going to be the same, whether he's playing 13 or 9. That, the defensive side of it is the same job, same task for him. So it's really learning the dummy half bit, and the biggest part of difference for dummy half is picking the ball up, which doesn't seem that hard, but it is. Once he's got the ball and he's standing up, he's essentially he's playing his 13 role the same way, and he was a threat with the ball tonight, which was great, carrying the ball. He's a good, strong kid, tough kid, hard worker. The boys love him. It was his birthday yesterday, so it's a nice way for him to celebrate his 21st birthday.
And on with my staff at the Sky cameras caught you celebrating that one. I don't think I've seen a coach quite as animated for a while. On a broader perspective, it's quite clear that you enjoy working with the young lads, just generally speaking. How rewarding is it for you to see the likes of Jared and Wes have the moments like that and ensure that there's some development coming through?
Yeah, I was really happy for the game to finish how it did. It rewarded the effort of the whole team, but Muzzy, he's been suspended for a bunch of time there, and we've had a few in the same category. So those guys have actually been doing things on non-training days. There's been a sort of little unit of guys that have been supporting each other through, some disappointing or some hard times for them. Missing out on playing is a huge thing for players. To miss a week is a lot. To miss 2 or 5 is, it means a lot to these guys to be playing. So for Muzzy to come back and finish the game strongly and help us contribute there is great. I love working with all players that want to get better and want to play for the team and play for the club and play together, and whether they're young or old or anywhere in between, that's what I love to do.
There was just one slight worry, Rohan, that the first tour came off late. Can you just tell us what's the problem there?
He had a bit of an ankle at half time, but he felt right to keep going, and he was playing well. It got to a point where it was a bit sore in that second half. They're in there just sort of now assessing whether it's a ligament type thing or whether it just got jammed up. And if it just got jammed up, a bit nerve sort of orientated, then he might be okay. If it's a ligament strain, then he might struggle for Catalans next week.
Harry Newman played on the left when we used to see him play on the right. What was the thinking behind that decision?
Oh, there was a lot. No decision is just sort of a spur of the moment one. There's quite a few sort of tactical things that have been going on. And I thought Harry would be probably more involved playing on that left side. And the other thing I wanted to help complement our halves was to Suddy's a good kicker. I know he had one that didn't quite go to plan, but he's actually very comfortable kicking the ball. So getting another threat on that right side to be able to run it a bit and find a kick. We didn't end up really needing that too often, but that was the other sort of theme, to be able to run the ball on the last with a kick on the end.
You'll still be learning about this team, I'm sure, Rohan. What did you learn about them tonight? What did that say about your team, what they did tonight?
It's a really hard question. Probably confirmed, my belief. I talk a lot to players and to coaches about, learn or confirm. Sometimes you feel like, I don't know if we learnt, but I know there's a belief in there. I think I already knew that. There's a lot of good players in there, and we've played a bunch of good rugby over the last period of time. I'm stumped on the learn part, but it confirmed a lot of belief. I said to the players at half time, I'm not surprised we've had a good half of footy. I'm not surprised. But being able to replicate that on a regular basis is the opportunity that we have in front of us.
Can I ask you just one on the crowd? As someone who spent half my life coming here, I just thought tonight, this is how it used to be.
Okay.
It felt amazing. It sounded great. How big was it for you, and how key was it to have the crowd as involved as they were, off the back of what they were seeing, I guess? Yeah,
having not been here for so long, we haven't played here for 60-something days. There's been a lot of transition and a lot of growth within our team since that Wakefield game. A lot of changes, some ups and downs. Perhaps people were coming not quite sure what they were going to see. But as soon as they saw the energy of the team and the intent and the collective teamwork, they fed off it. I think the crowd fed off the players, and then it was reciprocal. And it was good to be part of, having that, 14th man or on the field. Really, it's a boost, obviously.
Rohan, you've had obviously a tough week, tough game in Toulouse last week in that heat, and then the journey to and from. Were you impressed with the amount of energy the players showed tonight on a short turnaround in those circumstances?
Yeah, I was very impressed. We had 5 new bodies into the team from last week's game, I think, 5. And they all, Hardacre's performance, Harry Newman, Sutcliffe, Muzzy finishing the game off there for us, Yusuf on debut. Those guys all had, really good energy to complement the guys that were backing up from last week. Apologies if I missed someone there, but I was impressed. Our players have really bought into everything we've done from a strength and conditioning and a preparation point of view. We had a light week of training. We did less than we normally would, 2 days out from the game to make sure that we certainly weren't going to be overdone from training. Rich Hunnix he puts a lot of thought into things, and everyone else is just following directions and getting the reward of high energy there. And we've been playing with a good level of energy every week, regardless of how our execution has been.
It was nice to see Brad Dwyer get tried. Clearly meant a lot to him. I just wondered what your thoughts were on his performance with his future seemingly confirmed that it won't be at Leeds next year.
Brad played well. He was a real threat last week in Toulouse, but it just didn't quite happen for him on the end of some plays. And he was speaking to me about what his intent was for the week ahead, and he just went and did that. He threatened the line a lot of times, but he also got down, played the ball, and we built a bit of pressure, and he got the reward. People have seen him play for a long period of time. He's dangerous close to the line. He's good at breaking tackles, and it was a very clever play. We were stacked up on that left side, looking to run the ball and finish in the corner. So he sensed the opportunity to go back against the grain, and whether he scored or not, it was going to be a clever play, that one.
You said you're going to Catalans on Monday. Are you going to have a camp there?
Sorry, no, we'll go on Saturday. We're in and out on the day, but we'll start our preparation as a unit on Monday. A couple of days to refresh after particularly that long travel last week into a short turnaround. It's important that everyone recharges a bit and fires up for another, hot weather travel against a strong team.
Well, I think it's 5 wins in 9 since you took over. Are you happy with the pace of the progress that's been made and how the team's evolving under your watch?
I've enjoyed the process of people and players, firstly being really respectful of me and a different voice and, some different ideas, and they've been respectful and they've bought into it, and it's a work in progress for sure. Like, some people are going to take time, and as a unit we haven't been cohesive, and the consistency of team selections haven't been there. But that the upside of that is we've been able to see lots of different combinations and see lots of different players playing. So that's helping to learn maybe some more about certain players in certain positions. It's been a good journey, and just getting started really.